Hello and welcome to sportingways.com. My name's Thomas Rooney and once again I'm joined by Joe Rooney. And obviously over the last few weeks we've been looking at Euro 2012, the football, but now our attention turns to the summer sports really, and we're looking at Wimbledon this week, and we're looking ahead now to the ladies semi-finals, so the singles at Wimbledon, and then tomorrow we'll look ahead to the men's semi-finals, the singles, which sort of are decided today with the quarter-finals. As I say, we'll look at the ladies semi-finals to begin with. The first one is Angelique Kerber versus Agnieszka Radwanska. Obviously some fantastic names in there, and fantastic, or not so fantastic if you've got to read them out all the time, but in the women's tennis. We'll talk about Kerber to begin with. Obviously 24 years old, French Open quarter-final in 2012, US Open semi-final at the end of last year in 2011. So she's someone who's really sort of coming to the fore in the last few months in terms of Grand Slams, and maybe it's now about time she won something and sort of got something sooner rather than later, even though her rise in the last few months has been very impressive.
Yeah, I think this looks like it could be her year, doesn't it? I mean, 24, I think, is a great age in tennis. She's got the experience, but she's still young and hungry for her first title. And it's been a case of nearly getting there, but not quite crossing the line. And this could be the perfect opportunity to do it.
Obviously, in the last round, she did well to progress past Lisicki, who's a good friend of hers. I think they doubles together occasionally, and obviously a fellow German. And she's also got a very good reputation, and certainly this year they've sort of beaten some big names. She beat Sharapova and Wozniacki sort of in 2012 so far, prior to Wimbledon. And obviously at Wimbledon this year, she beat Kim Clijsters in the fourth round. So that's a really encouraging sign for her that she's not intimidated by the big names of women's tennis.
No, she raises her game against a big name, which is extremely impressive. And just going back against the last game against Lisicki, she took the first set relatively comfortably, but then the second set she actually had 2 or 3 match points, and she didn't take them. And in the end, Lisicki took her on a tie break, which could have really sort of dented her performance, couldn't it? But she came back well, took the third set, and I think that says a lot about her, that when the pressure's really on, she can deliver. Okay,
obviously she's the 8th seed going into this tournament, so she wasn't kind of one of the leading contenders going into it. That was sort of the Sharapovas at the time, the Williams of this world. But she's a very good player, and many people are backing her to go all the way this year, and she's improving all the time, so big things expected of her. Her opponent, obviously, will be a tough one. It's Radwanska. She's the number 3 seed. She's obviously the favourite to progress in this match if you use the seeding sort of as the guide for that one. But she all knows it's going to be extremely tough, but one thing that she can rely on is she's getting lots of support back home from home, and they're really excited about her. She's 23 years old and just a very good player, sort of, and a young player in women's tennis, isn't she?
Yeah, an extremely exciting prospect, as you said, but it's going to be very tough because we said Kerber will raise her game against the big names and seems to have a knack for beating, sort of upsetting the odds, you know what I mean? But Radwanska, she's a very, very good player, and she's going to be tough, and she's one of the most exciting players in women's tennis at the moment.
Okay, and so you mentioned there, this is sort of a breakthrough year, really, 2012, because sort of the momentum she's gained from that support. And for example, the Sony Ericsson Open earlier this year, she won every single set, didn't drop one. That included victories over Venus Williams, Maria Sharapova. I mean, so that's a really encouraging sign. Although this is her first ever semi-final in a Grand Slam, so it is new territory for her as well. But she'll relish it, I think. Yeah,
I think she's the kind of player that's going to come into it not nervous but more excited about it. I mean,
fearless.
And winning every set in a tournament, it doesn't matter what sort of tournament it is. That's a massive achievement, and it just goes to show that she's really ready to win something big, I think.
Okay, just another final point on Radwanska. She won the fan favourite singles player in 2011. So, as I say, extremely popular player and a good character as well for women's tennis, and it's definitely better sort of with her involved. We'll go for a prediction on this one now. It's the women's semi-final at Wimbledon. It's Kerber versus Radwanska, and I've got a feeling about Kerber this year. I've been very impressed with what I've seen. Whether she'll go all the way, I'm not sure, but I think she deserves a place in the final, and I think she'll progress in this one, which will be a slight, upset of the odds, and I think she'll win in 3 sets.
Yeah, I think Radwanska for this one. Actually, I think Kerber might have had a big performance in the last match that took a lot out of her. I think Radwanska is going to really relish this stage of the tournament, and I think she's going to take it in straight sets.
Okay, the second Wimbledon women's semi-final to look at is Serena Williams versus Victoria Azarenka, and we're going to look at Serena Williams to begin with, and obviously everyone knows all about her at Wimbledon. She's won this tournament 4 times, going for her 5th title this year, and to be honest, many people said she might be done in terms of chasing Grand Slam titles because she's had a massive amount of injury problems over the last couple of years. Then her form this year in Grand Slams hasn't been great. Australian Open, it was the 4th round. French Open, the 1st round. But when it comes to Wimbledon and the grass of Wimbledon, you just can't write Serena Williams off, can you? And that's proved to be the case again.
No, she just seems to absolutely love it here, doesn't she? she's been very, very impressive, and you can never, like I say, you can just never write her off at this tournament. She's one of the best women to ever play at Wimbledon, along with her sister.
Yeah.
And she's been great again. She's looked strong. She's looked fit.
She sort of progressed as the tournament's gone on.
Yeah, definitely. She got better and better, and last time out she made light work of her opponent as well. So she's doing well.
Yeah, you mentioned last time out. I mean, she beat the defending champion Kvotova.
Yeah.
Sort of in the last round, and that kind of, for someone like that who's been in the form she's been in, to beat the defending champion, you'd have thought that's a shock, but it just isn't, because as a Williams sister, you'd expect them to win every single game they play, and the Wimbledon wouldn't be the same without them, would it? Either Venus or Serena, which...
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if they're seeded sort of first and second, or 30th and 31st. It doesn't make any difference. You always expect them to win, no matter who they're playing. You can't help but when the Williams sisters are at Wimbledon, you expect one of them, if not both of them, to do it.
Okay, and you can. I can personally just picture it lifting the trophy. You can see it now, even though this is going to be an incredibly tough match for her. And just a side note, she's still only 30 years old. Do you find that remarkable, really?
It's remarkable, really, because ever since I've watched tennis, Williams has been involved. But she's still got a lot to offer. I think she's still got a lot of years left in her if she stays fit.
She's got a fight for her as well. Obviously, she's playing Azarenka tomorrow. In the sort of the second semi-final. 22-year-old Russian Azarenka. Many believe she can dominate the women's game for many years to come, because she won the Australian Open earlier this year. It's been a bit patchy in form-wise since then, but she's come back at Wimbledon and she's performed extremely well. And if she gets that second Grand Slam in 2012, I think that can really propel her to be the main player in women's tennis.
Yeah, I think the second Grand Slam is the big one, and where she can do it on a different surface and really say, look, I'm here, I'm going to be one of the best
champion in 2 of the 4 tournaments.
Yeah, definitely, and and then she can push on in the next ones. And if you start winning Grand Slams, winning's a habit, isn't it? And she could keep going and going. At the age of 22, she's got so much to offer, hasn't she?
Okay, and to mention this year, she's been extremely impressive, kind of breezed through, really. I mean, 4th round, she sort of hammered Anna Ivanovic, who's a more than capable player, 6-1, 6-love. I mean, that's an incredible performance, and overall this match should be a really good one, because it's the highest ranked player left in the tournament versus the only Wimbledon champion left in the tournament. So this must be one you're looking forward to. I know I certainly am. Yeah,
definitely. It's the one that stands out of the two, isn't it? You'd say that almost the winner of this one would be the favourite to go on to do it, but whoever wins this one is going to be tough for them, and they could be a bit knackered for the final. Don't forget, but just about Azarenka winning any set 6-love at this stage in Grand Slam, it is just a massive achievement. Just shows what sort of form she's in, I think.
So it wasn't the first or second round; it was the 4th round against the capable opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll go for a prediction. In this one, it's Serena Williams versus Victoria Azarenka, and I've got a feeling for Azarenka in this one. I think Serena Williams isn't quite the player she was, but she'll obviously be a tough test for her, and I think it'll be tight. But Azarenka sort of flying the flag for the more modern day player and the younger player, sort of the young Russian. I think she'll win in straight sets, although it won't be a 6-love or anything like that. It'll be tight, but I think Azarenka in straight sets to make it through to the final. Yeah,
I'm going to disagree with that. I think Serena Williams has just got the know-how in this tournament at this stage, and I think Azarenka will have her day, but I don't think it's just now. I think Williams will do it. She might even lose the first set. She'll do it in 3 sets.
Okay, finally for today, we're just going to have a quick chat about Andy Murray. Obviously, he's the British hope in Wimbledon, as he has been for the last few years. He's in quarter-final action today against David Ferrer of Spain. And hopefully we'll talk about it in more detail tomorrow when we talk about the men's semi-finals. We're hoping he makes it through. But just a quick chat to begin with. Andy Murray, his best performance was in the last round. He was extremely good against Silic, who's a capable player. Do you think he can go all the way this year? Have you been impressed with him so far? Yeah,
I've been extremely impressed with him so far. I think if he's going to do it, this is his chance, with Nadal out of the semi-final. I mean, obviously he's going to have to still beat probably one of Federer or Djokovic, but this is his chance. I don't think he's going to have any better. He looks in great form. But just against Cilic, he was on and off due to the rain, wasn't he? But he didn't let that affect him. I think it just shows what a great state of mind he's in at the moment, that he can just come on and turn it on whenever he needs to.
I think it's Goran Ivanisevic, who said that that's the type of tennis that's going to win Andy Murray Wimbledon.
Yeah.
So obviously he doesn't want to waste it. It was obviously the quarter final. He does. He needs to repeat that again in the semi-final in the quarter final against a dogged opponent in David Ferrer, and then again got to do it again and again. So it's difficult, because we've always said about Murray that he's got 3 or 4 big performances in him rather than just one to make it through to the semis. You say it will be easier because Nadal isn't there. But you just get a feeling if he gets through to the final, no matter who it's against, the occasion, just everything about it is going to be special.
Yeah.
So therefore, that could push him on, even though I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, because I mean, don't forget David Ferrer. He's a very, very tough opponent, and against Del Potro last time out, he looked world class. He really did. It's going to be tough for him in this one.
Fantastic form.
This is all he's got to be thinking about at the moment. But like I said, if you get to the semi-final, he should back himself against one of the opponents he's going to come up again. Then say the final is just—it's not a lottery, but just with the big occasion of all the crowd behind him on centre court, it might be his year. You never know.
Okay, so I think if we just have a quick word, we think he's going to get through. I think Andy Murray will get through against David Ferrer. I think it's going to be 5 sets. I think it's going to be really tough for him. I think he's a kind of dogged player, Ferrer. So that's my opinion. I think he will get through. Maybe 4 or 5 sets. Or do you think he'll get through?
Yeah, I think he'll get through, and I think he'll do it a little bit. I think he'll be a bit more straightforward than that. I think maybe 4 sets he'll do it. Maybe even go 1 down like he has in some of the matches so far. But I expect Murray to win this.
Okay, so hopefully tomorrow we'll be talking about Andy Murray in the semi-finals of Wimbledon.